I've been working on my cabinets a bit this morning. They're drying back there on the floor, on the ground. But while those are drying, I'm also working on the base for the cabinets. Basically, it'll be the toe kick and the foundation for the cabinet, since they did not come with a built-in toe kick. So I've cut all of my pieces. It's gonna be 4 feet wide, and there's a 3-inch recess, so it'll be 21 inches deep. So I've got the 4 side pieces that will go across to support. And then I've cut my angle braces as well for extra support. I am gonna put a drawer in on the left side of the cabinet, so there won't be any angle braces in there, but this is good solid wood, and I think just those 4 braces, around 2/3 of the toe kick, it's gonna be just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these primed. And Andy's off moving stuff into storage, so I'm gonna work on this, and when it's done, kind of chasing the shade, but hopefully I can find some more shade to finish up my cabinets in. So far this has been an odds and ends kind of day. The whiteboards down there are the ones for the toe kick and basically the base for the cabinets. I haven't yet managed to put my second coat on because the sun has been just blasting down in this area, and I haven't had a nice level area to paint. I don't want to lay paint on the front of those cabinets and then have it not be level. So I am working on something else. Up here at the top of the driveway, since Andy's not here, he's got the truck off taking stuff to storage, I am cutting more wood, and this is going to be the garage wall, the frame for the garage wall. This is cedar, and I've got to correct a couple of slightly crooked little cuts, and then I'm going to go ahead and use my Craig jig and put holes in either end of these pieces that are the vertical supports. I've got my 2 long supports cut, and then I can start screwing it together. When he gets back, I can fit it in the van. Andy just came back with the van from moving his stuff into storage. Most of it, he's still got a little bit to go. He asked how I was doing. I said, I'm doing great. I'm building erector sets. So I've got all the pieces cut for the wall that goes between the garage and the main living area in the van, basically the front edge of the bed. And I've also got all the pieces cut for the base of my cabinet. So I'm excited about that. And I'm gonna get my little Craig bit out and start putting all my pocket holes together, see what I can make. Basically, I built 2 of the same things this afternoon. They're basically boxes with cross pieces. So this cedar bit here, these are going to be the framing for the wall that goes between the bed, between the garage area and the main living area. And then the white pieces that I have primed are going to go underneath the cabinets, and that's what I'm going to put together right now. Decided to move my little assembly line over here into the van. It's much cooler, much shadier. And I wanted to show you my little diagram for the toe kick. It's really very simple, but I do need to go ahead and measure the positioning of each of the cross supports, because as you can see, one cabinet is wider, the drawer cabinet is wider, than these 2 are the same. So I've got to make sure I put the right marks for where everything's going to go, so that the pre-existing drawer that I have will fit under here in the toe kick spot. I clamped my boards together just so that I could measure them together, mark them together. And I'm going to mark the width of each of these boards so that I basically have kind of a bracket marked out. They're 3/4 of an inch wide. I'm going to do that. Just do them across to make sure that that's straight. And then first stretch is 17 inches. I think I've had this lovely ruler since high school, and the end of it is starting to get a little worn, sadly. I'm kind of attached to it. Well, I ran into a bit of a hiccup this afternoon with that cabinet base that I was putting together, because we had planned to put a drawer in the bottom of it. I pushed an open drawer, and the drawer slides came from Amazon, and I realized they were too long. And then I went to double check because I knew I had measured, measured and measured again, and I just miscalculated because I forgot that the measurements were not based on the drawer, but actually the space that I had available. So looking at it again in the space that I have, because the toe kick typically is 3 inches in from the front of the cabinet, so I lost 3 inches right there. And so I had to remeasure. And I think what I've decided to do is to break down the drawer and shrink it a little bit, which I can do. I just have to take off a couple inches off the back, 3 inches, I guess, and take back the drawer slides and then order a new set. So that kind of throws a wrench a little bit in the schedule for this week, but we've got, let me think, today's Tuesday. We've got one more week here before we're out and headed to Florida again to visit with my folks and do a couple things before we start traveling full time. So the clock is ticking, but yeah, it's inevitable that we run into problems sometimes. So yeah, that's where we're at. Getting ready to start my daily ritual of moving the van to the top of the driveway and getting to work. So come along and join me. The place where Andy rents is on a cul-de-sac. There's lots of houses around here, so it gets pretty crowded. The driveway itself is pretty crowded too, because we've got 3 cars with the van, my car, and his landlord's car. So we always try to make space for her, but the driveway is not level. So every day, our routine is to bring the van up here where it's more level, give us a little bit of space to work. And then when Laura's not home, we can spread out in the driveway a bit. And yeah, it's not ideal, but you do what you can do, right? Since garage space is at a premium, I brought some of the cabinet doors up here last night to dry. They're actually looking pretty decent with the brushing instead of the rolling. I'm gonna go ahead and just do a light sanding on them and get one more coat on. And then I bought some clear poly to go over the top, because I'm just not thrilled with this is a satin finish, but it doesn't have enough sheen for me. It really does look like a flat paint. So I'm gonna put a spray satin on top of them, both to protect and to give it a little more sheen, and try to get that done today. I'm gonna finish up the support, which is right there. It's not all bolted together, but I need to cut out the piece so we can do the drawer. This box was actually pretty easy to make. I just got 4-foot pieces, which is exactly what I need. So I bought them at the right size, cut the cross pieces, put the holes in with the Craig jig, and just have to align them and make sure they land in the right spot. So still need a screw on that side, but the other side is connected and all lined up. I was going to tell you about my never-ending cabinet project, which is hopefully going to conclude today, at least the doors. But I saw a little stowaway. I don't know if you just saw me run into the garage. We have a little chipmunk. Hey, buddy. He must be scared, poor little guy. Anyway, he'll find his way out. As long as he doesn't find his way into my van, we're okay. Well, as is usual, I ran into some problems with the toe kick. I was trying to put the drawer over on this end, where this is 18 inches. The other 2 bays are 15 inches each. And as I put on the front panel, which is not here, I realized that this was not going to stay square without some additional support, and I can't put a corner bracket in or I won't have room for the drawer. So I am going to punt on the idea of having the toe kick drawer here, and I can't piece together the 2 pieces of wood that I'd already cut, so I'm going to have to go pick up another 1x4 and prime it and put it in here before I paint this and start the cabinet installation. And then also working on some other projects, like sorting out stuff that's in the garage back there and figuring out what we should take with us, what we don't need anymore that could go into storage, and what might go into storage just temporarily, and we'll pick it back up after we get our roof rack installed. We're doing that in about 2 weeks at Unica Gear in Spartanburg. We decided that we'd just go there and have them install it. It's a little extra to do that, but it's one thing that we don't have to worry about. And I just somehow, in my head, that was like one project too many for all the little projects that are involved in building out this van. So they're also going to install my solar panels for me, which will be nice, because then we can hook them up to the DC. Oops, where is it? Back there. We can also hook them up to the DC charger that's back there on the panel, and then we'll get juice in the batteries from both the alternator, the starter battery, as well as the solar. So that'll be good. I built something. I'm laughing at myself because I get so entertained by the smallest accomplishments. I don't know, little things make me really happy. So anyway, want to see what I did? This is my first wall in the van, and I cut the pieces a few days ago. I didn't have a chance to put it in, but it's the garage wall, and it will come out to the depth of the cabinet on this side. The kitchen is going to be right here, the galley, and then on this side a slightly shallower cabinet where we're going to have the refrigerator. It will also help to support the bed because the bed frame is going to come out to right about here, and this weight goes all the way down to the floor. And then in the middle we have an opening here, and I hope that I will be able to make some room for a doggy den for Forrest. Most of the space back here in the garage is going to be for storage. We've got bikes. We obviously have water tank. We'll need room for gear. I don't know how we're going to fit it all in, but we'll do our best. And yeah, so the framing is in for the wall. And then the next order of business for today is actually to bring up the cabinets. We're going to put in the toe kick that I built, and then start checking out the cabinets, see how they fit, and hopefully get them installed in the next 24 hours. A lot has changed in this old van in the past couple of hours. Andy and I brought the cabinets in to fit them on the toe kick, and right now I have it turned up because I am framing behind the wall. We just weren't certain until we had the cabinets in how much space we needed to fill in order to get the cabinets to align properly. So I have figured that out. I'm putting up the framing now, and then I'm going to go ahead and attach the toe kick and the cabinets. I'm making progress, and I keep saying I'm excited, but I am excited because, wow, having cabinets is going to feel pretty cool. I did just check as I'm starting to put these in and position them. They seem like they're really high. Maybe it's just because I'm short. Maybe it's because I'm in a van. I don't know, but I think they're standard height. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to check here real quick. Survey says 34.5 inches. And then with the countertop, that's an hour. Can you tell I've been working all day? I'm tired. Once I put the butcher block countertop in, they will be 36 inches tall. I'm going to go to Google real quick and check standard countertop height, because I know my toe kick is standard height, but I wonder if somewhere along the way I maybe miscalculated. Well, Google says I'm right, 36 inches, so I'm going to proceed. I'm going to go ahead and set the third cabinet here and make sure everything is positioned correctly. I have already screwed the toe kick into the wall here. I need to screw the cabinets into my furring strips, which are attached to the wall with a horizontal piece that's attached with plus nuts. And I'm going to try to get everything together, and then if I'm really, really lucky, I'm going to be able to put on doors and drawers today, and it's going to look like a kitchen. Well, I did it. My cabinets are in. This one, you may notice, is just a hair lower than the others. I've got some plywood that'll make up the difference under the counter, so the counter will be nice and level, and that actually should help because this is where I'm going to mount my sink, and so I'll just cut out a shape for the sink in the plywood to give this cabinet a little bit more stability. Yeah, they are almost ready to go. Got to go let the dog out. He's probably not happy that he hasn't been out here playing today, but I've been really focused. So I'm gonna let him out, and then I'm gonna come back and make them all pretty.